Hello, guys. I think today is Saturday, so happy Saturdays to you all. I'm still here. I'm healing and I'm here. A lot is going on social media, and we have a lot to catching up to do. Yeah, but sometimes my voice isn't good, but I have to work with it until my voice is good. The thing is that, as many of you know, and as I've always been vocal about, I have Graves' disease. With Graves' disease, you have a goiter and all of that jazz. Many of you know that for the past 2 years, it has been one hell of a battle for me. So from December of last year, it's not funny. It is not funny, but I mean, this illness has taken me through so much. And for the past, 2 years, I've been fighting like hell to stay alive. So, um, from December of last year, I noticed that my voice hasn't been the same. And from December of last year as well, I've been having the irregular heartbeats, the palpitation, and not even the endocrinologist seems to know what to do at this point. But I figured out what to do, and I've been helping myself through herbal teas like rose hip and hibiscus works well for me. But I'm in the countryside now, so none of the grocery stores up here carries it. The grocery stores in the countryside, they rarely sell stuff for tea because it's the countryside, right? So I realized that I'm gonna have to buy rose hip and hibiscus on Amazon or travel into the city to get rose hip and hibiscus. It's very expensive in the city though, very expensive in the city. If I buy it on Amazon and pay the shipping company to clear it here in the country, it is cheaper than getting it in the city. The only difference is if I go into the city, I get it the same day. If I buy it on Amazon, I get it about a week time. Not 2 weeks, but under 2 weeks. I'll get it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Get myself some rose hip and hibiscus. I bought myself some supplements as well to help with the palpitations. I used to buy them locally, but I realized that it's more cost effective to buy them on Amazon. Not only is it more cost effective, you can buy a better brand on Amazon, a bottle that contains a lot more. So, I'm waiting to get my calcium, not calcium, magnesium glycinates, that's good for the heart too. And I have some fish oil coming in. So I have the magnesium, the potassium, the fish oil, and I can't remember what else at this point, but I have to be doing my research and I've been watching a lot of TikTok videos, you know, with other people sharing best practices who have the same problem that I have. I used to be so depressed about it, like so depressed, but like I can't be depressed about it anymore because it doesn't help. It only makes it worse. And then the severe anxiety that comes with Graves' disease, like I have anxiety that is so bad. The anxiety that I have mimics heart attack. And that was a hurdle that I had to overcome. And the moment I overcame that hurdle of it mimicking heart attack, can you believe that the anxiety starts mimicking hypoglycemia, like signs and symptoms of a severe case of diabetes, and I'm not diabetic. Like every couple of months, they send me to do the um diabetic test. I'm not, and I have to do it because I'm on steroids as well. Because Graves' disease has given me a severe case of urticaria, hives. Yes. So, and can you imagine having hives and having heat intolerance? So I can't sweat, and if I sweat, I have to dry the sweat off me like ASAP with specific fabric, cotton fabric, and I have to ensure that whatever I'm using to dry my sweat is cotton, right? And since I've been in the countryside, what I found is that I found a product that is locally made, and it contains, and this is what is so weird about the product, because normally when I use salicylic acid, it gives me these little fine bumps. If the salicylic acid is made outside Jamaica, it's like my skin is allergic to it. I don't know why. But when I use the salicylic acid that's locally made, my skin loves it. My skin eats it up. So there's a company that makes this product for your skin. It's for oily prone skin, and it contains salicylic acid and something else of the sort, right? It's a type of gentle cleanser for people with sensitive skin. I came across a girl from Jamaica who lives in China, and she says that she buy the product by the case because she can't afford to go out of it. And then I remember that I used to buy that product for my daughter as a baby, and I used to use it on her as a baby. And it was so good because she has eczema, right? That's how gentle the product is, and that's how nice it is to the skin. And then I was like, yeah, I didn't know they were still selling that product. So I went to the pharmacy in the country and I saw it and I bought it. And when I applied to my skin, I realized that if I sweat, because it's really hot, it's so hot. So I realized that when I apply that to my skin, like I have to do it first thing in the morning. So if I happen to, like, I will move from the bedroom to the kitchen and sweat. But with this product, I realized that if I sweat, I don't get the rash and the chafing and all of that so easily. So what I'll do is to apply it like first thing of the day. It's going to be what I use on my face, on my neck, all the parts that would chafe and sore easily, because I still have scars from, I want to show you guys. These scars are from 2022, caused from a heat rash. Because what I've realized is that I can sweat for just 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Not more than 5 minutes. Just sweating for 5 minutes can land me in the hospital. Back in 2022, it was really hot. I was living at this place that I did not have any AC, and that was Sunshine City, Portmore, my love. And I got the heat rash, and I thought, okay, it's just heat rash. I'm gonna be fine. I still have scars from it. The following day when I got up, I no longer had heat rash. I had sores, full upload sores. And I had to rush to the dermatologist. The dermatologist said that the heat rash got infected because I've been sweating so much and because I'm on the steroids. So what happens is that the skin is so sensitive, the heat rash started turning sore, and the heat rash started peeling. And because the heat rash started peeling, they started getting infected, and I didn't know. So I got antibiotic cream, Yes, so I got antibiotic cream, steroid cream, but because there was germs in the eat rash, and because in my sleep I would be itching it without being conscious of it, and the nails left germs in it. So they got so, like, if you go on my Instagram page, you'll see it. The photos are there from about 2022, 2023, and they look pus filled. You're not gonna believe it's eat rash unless you've had that experience. You will not believe it is eat rash. And I posted it there so that I can remember, hey, don't allow sweat to stay on your skin. So I have I have that um product that I'm using, and I'll apply it everywhere that I sweat the most, because I realized that once I put that product on my skin, instead of the sweat, penetrating my skin, that product fight against whatever. So I noticed that since using it, I'm not getting the eat rash anymore, because when I just, like, the first week when I came to the country, I thought I had packed the cortisone cream, which is a steroid cream, but I took up a face cream, believing it was my steroid cream, and when I came to the country, day two, my neck was full of blown sore, and I did everything, but nothing works for it besides a strong dose of steroid cream and the antibiotic cream. And I didn't have the cream, didn't have the money, and I didn't want to go to the hospital because I don't know why, but in my head, I'm like, the hospital here doesn't have much specialists. And if I go to the hospital, the doctor is not going to believe me that it's heat rash. The doctor is not going to believe me. And I don't know if there's any dermatologist there. And I don't know if there's any endocrinologist there. So I was like, I'm not going to go to the hospital. But my sister has somewhat of the same problem. So she had a cream, a very strong steroid cream. And I got that. And that's how it came off. Nothing that I did was like, I did the medicated powder. Like, we have a good medicated powder in Jamaica, a Mings, and that did not do shit. It didn't do anything. So I had to go on Amazon, order that steroid cream. It's 10%. That's how strong it has to be. But I found something that really helps to mitigate the problem. But guys, I'm just saying that to say, your girl, she's still here, but she's healing and everything. Um, I'm supposed to make an appointment to go to my dermatologist because I'm supposed to keep up with regular visits with my dermatologist so she can actually put my skin through everything. But you know why I've been running from the dermatologist? I'm going to tell you guys why. The moment that the dermatologist told me about this test that I have to do, where they're going to stick several needles in my back with different, I think it's like different ingredients that are normally found in food, because they want to see if there's a particular ingredient that might be triggering the urticaria. Because if I eat rice, if I eat rice, I have to take steroids. The only thing that I'm not allergic to that I've discovered is some fruits and some vegetable. Like some fruits, some vegetable. And ever since Hurricane Melissa, like fruits and vegetables have become, some of them have become super expensive. Some of them, things are getting back to normal. So some of them, the price point is okay. But sometimes I'll not even eat anything. And I have the wheals, the swelling, my eyes get red and all of that. So it has been a consistent battle. And I posted a unfiltered photo the other day, and a few of you guys reached out to me and you were like, Star, you look as though your body's filled with inflammation. Many of you guys could see it right away because the puffiness in my face, so many of you picked up on that right away. I said, this girl doesn't look like the girl I know. Kudos to you guys. Thanks to everyone that reached out, and many of you gave me tips and suggestions and all of that. The last meeting, the last appointment that I had with my dermatologist, she recommended bamboo sheets, honey. Bamboo sheets or Egyptian cotton. Who got money for that? Who got money for bamboo sheets? Can you imagine how much for bamboo sheets? Egyptian cotton? And she was telling me to ensure that my closet is clear, ensure I have no boxes packed up in any corner with anything that's unwanted, and I have to ensure that my curtains are clean around the clock, my windows are clean around the clock, my fan is clean around the clock, the AC gets service around the clock, cleaned properly as well. And she said, as a matter of fact, if it's an old unit, throw it out and get a new one. Like, all the things that this woman was demanding of me, I was like, Jesus Christ. She said, you have one of the worst chronic urticarias that I've seen in a while. But they know it's a Graves' disease that's doing it. But the thing is that they have to basically rule out everything else. It's just like the anxiety. They knew that the Graves' disease was doing it, but they still had to rule out, was there any psychological disorder going on? So I had to see a psychologist, right? And when I went to the psychologist had my medical record. It was sent to the psychologist, and the psychologist was looking at all the EKGs, test and everything. And the psychologist saw the EKG and she was like, Jesus Christ. The psychologist says, they didn't tell you you need to, your potassium level was extremely low. And I said, no. So she said, oh, they're sending you to me. And they know that it's a thyroid causing the anxiety. So the psychologist was like, everything on this EKG is literally telling them that your thyroid is causing the anxiety. But anyway, the lady was like, anyway, let me go through whatever. So she went through the basic rounds. I just see, she said, I can't give you any medication for the anxiety because while you have anxiety, you don't have anxiety. It's the thyroid. And I'm like, but I'm seriously depressed at times. She says, oh no, honey, you're not depressed. She was like, oh no, you're not depressed while you're depressed. Oh no, you're not depressed, honey. It's the thyroid. And with that potassium and calcium level that you have so off and your iron level so off, like guys, I've been doing EKGs for years, ever since I was diagnosed with this medical condition. And I'm going to be honest, I had no idea that the EKG shows all of that. I had no idea. I had no idea. And the psychologist, she was showing me, she's like, it shows here, it shows here. It says, oh, the EKG, even though it's about the heart, it shows you what minerals and stuff your body's missing too. So I told her that my intuition is good, and you guys know too. For anyone who have been keeping up, you guys know my intuition is damn good. I said to her, the last time I was discharged from the hospital, I went directly to the pharmacy. That's after the anxiety mimicked diabetes, like a severe case. The anxiety mimicked a severe case of diabetes. Yeah, my heart rate was 161. Yeah, yeah, my heart was beating. Yes, love, my heart was beating that fast. I was just a doorstep away from you know what. I'm not even gonna say it. And then I felt nauseous, weak, dizzy, blurry vision, like I had never eaten in all my life, even though I ate. And they ran some tests and they're like, okay, walk us through what happened again. And every doctor keep calling another doctor and they were like, listen to her. She's telling us about anxiety, you know. And the doctor said, well, that sounds like diabetes. And the doctor gave the doctor my chart and said, look at it. Not a case of sugar. Come like say she don't even drink sugar. So it was the anxiety mimicking diabetes. Anxiety is the devil. It's a devil. And you think the hospital would prescribe something for anxiety? Nope. Uh-uh. They said you don't have anxiety. We're sorry, but we can't treat you for what you don't have. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And they discharged me from the hospital. They said, we can't. That would be like a medical malpractice. And I said, what do I do each time I have a case of severe anxiety? They said, honey, meditation. Meditation. So I had to get back on my phone and I had to reach out to the expensive endocrinologist that I used to see. She's the best in Jamaica. Professor Wright Pascoe. That woman is next to God for me. Like, she's a magician. When I used to see that woman, you know, I never had a problem. And if something comes up, give her 2 to 3 weeks maximum. She fixes that shit. She fixes it. But when I tell you she's expensive, honey, she's expensive. But I'm gonna have to go back to her. She cost an arm and a leg. But honey, when I was giving that woman that arm and leg, I was in the best of health. Even though I still had Graves' disease, I was a functioning Graves' disease patient, completely functioning, like memory, focus, sharp, sharp, sharp. Everything was just fine. Never had a heart palpitation. Nothing. When I was seeing that woman, I was on like 1 milligram or 0.25 milligram of propanolol. Since I've stopped seeing her, I've jumped from 0.25 milligrams of propanolol. Listen enough, from 0.25. So that's 1 milligram of pill broken in 4 parts, 4 equal parts. And I take quarter of that pill. That lady had me on 0.25 milligram of propanolol when I was seeing her, and I was good. The moment that I stopped seeing her due to financial hardships, I am on 120, 120 milligrams of propanolol daily. And that is what I've been on since October, if not September of last year. How I got there? All because of financial issues where I can't see the badass endocrinologist and everyone else seems like they don't know how to handle this thing. And you know what's the beauty of Professor Wright Pascoe? Like, after the anxiety was getting worse and it was getting bad, and I made a post on my WhatsApp story, cause I have her number saved and everything. She saw that WhatsApp post and she called me. And let me tell you, that woman is damn booked and busy. And she's fussy, and she's sassy, and she has an attitude. But that woman took the time and she called me, honey. She called me and she said, you're going to go to the pharmacy and you're going to ask them for a bottle of this. Do you have the money? Can buy it now? She said, I didn't say you should buy it tomorrow. You need to buy it today. I love her so much. Like, people talk about her attitude, but honey, give me that damn attitude and fix my problem. Because that woman fixed, like, that was my breakthrough, the only breakthrough that I got with the anxiety. But then I decided that let me go talk to a doctor and see who is going to break the medical rule a bit, who's going to bend it a bit to give me some anxiety medication to help me. And I visited a few doctors, and one of them was like, hell yeah, you need something to give you some amount of stability, and then you can fight it better independently. And that doctor gave me the lowest dose of anxiety medication, and that was the best thing for me. So after he gave me that small dose, and I started getting back some clarity, because I'm going to tell you guys this. With that anxiety that was going on, when I went into the shower, I was fleeing the shower. You would think somebody was chasing me out the shower. I was fleeing the shower because every time I go in the shower, I would feel like I can't breathe. I used to feel like I can't breathe. And I was like, damn, what's going on? What is this? This is not normal. And I'm like, but I can breathe, but I can breathe, but I can breathe, but I can breathe. So what I would start doing is this. I would start taking a mirror into the shower because the days are hot, and you know who's not going to miss out on their shower? Me. And I would get myself mentally prepared, and I would tell myself that I'm going to go in the shower and I'm not going to come out of that shower until I'm done showering once there's breath in my body. So I would take a mirror into the shower and I would hang that mirror up in the shower. And every time I felt as though I can't breathe, I would put the shower to my face, the mirror to my face. And once I see that frost on the mirror, I'll be like, you're okay, bitch. You can breathe. Your mind is just playing tricks on you, honey. And I'll be like, okay, I'm in charge. I'm the author and architect of my life. I'm in charge. I got this. And I would have to do 3-minute shower. Like, I'm so good at showering now under 3 minutes. And you best believe I'm getting all the parts. I'm so good at showering now under 3 minutes. And you best believe that I get everything. But I've overcome that hurdle. The anxiety is still there, but I don't look at it. Yeah, the anxiety is still there, but I ain't looking at it, honey. I've learned how to deal with it. Sometimes I'll go in a corner, meditate and all of that. But honey, your girl have been going through it, but you know what? I'm stronger than this because it isn't, you know what I start telling myself? This illness is in my body and this body belongs to me and God. And I'm not going to allow it to control me anymore. Even though sometimes it does. Sometimes it does, but I have to fight. So when you don't see my face, and when you guys keep asking me, where's your rapper chain? I'm coming back. Bigger, better than before. Coming back with a bigger chain too, because after everything we've been through, we need a bigger chain. A bigger chain is coming, honey, a bigger chain. Somebody even asked me for some hair tutorial on how I color my hair. Listen, not no, but I promise you I'm gonna do it. I promise you I'm gonna do it, okay? But I want you guys to know I'm still here. Your girl is just healing and just fighting Graves' disease. Yeah. So when you see so when you see Wendy Williams out there with her eyes looking like a frog and her legs looking like a jackfruit, and you think Wendy's on drugs, and the people are saying Wendy's on drugs, Wendy's on drugs, Wendy. Oh no, honey, that's all Graves' disease. But thank God, my eyes weren't, my eyes used to be like Wendy's, though. It used to. And if I can find the old photos, I'm gonna find it and insert one of them. And I lost my complexion, like I was jet black. I was jet black, a complexion that I never had before. But then I started seeing Professor Rosemary Wright Pascoe. That woman, next to God. Next to God, honey. Do you know how many people that woman has brought back from the dead? And every time you go somewhere and you mention her name, people are like, oh, you used to see V, not Professor Wright Pascoe. They're like, oh, you used to see V, Professor Wright Pascoe. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, so what are you doing here? Like, I don't want to treat you because that woman is funny and that woman will escalate you if you don't do the right thing. And, so people were scared to treat me, and I realized, stop mentioning that woman's name. No one wants to touch you, you know? And no, I'm being treated by the hospital, but I'm gonna have to go back to Prof. But I'm here, guys. I'm here.